There we go. We're live.
We're live. All right, my man.
Hope everybody can hear us. I don't know if anybody's on yet. I just started it.
So you were showing me pictures of all kind of stuff
Oh
in your
yeah,
room. Did you
I've
guys
got.
get a big lot of did you buy a big lot of something?
Yeah, I made a video on it a little bit ago. So pretty much what happened was this guy who was collecting for his whole life, like 70 years, ended up passing away, and his wife inherited his collection, and we ended up buying it all off of her, and yeah, so it was like all there's a bunch of Minnesota stuff because obviously I live in Minnesota, but there was tons of early 20th century stuff and a lot of cool magazines, a lot of cool ads and everything. So
Yeah, wow. Well, it's in a good home now.
yeah, yep.
So
Um,
you didn't make it to the national.
no, I did not. Sadly, I had. So originally I was gonna go with the man that owns Sterling Sports Auctions, but he said his wife was gonna go. It was either me or his wife, and if his wife was gonna go, if his wife wasn't gonna go, then I was gonna go. But she ended up going, and yeah, so then I didn't. But wish I went. Wish I maybe next year. It's always next
The
year.
wife always makes the decisions, man.
Exactly.
Some future advice. Happy wife, happy life.
uh, uh, hey guys, there's a couple people in the chat. Hey Reese,
Is Orlando in yet?
Orlando is not in yet.
He will be. I always tease him. He's in every live I ever go on.
Yeah, he's been in all my lives too.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems to be in three at the same time. I don't know how he does it.
Just so you guys know, I've got some very, very bad dogs, and you might be hearing them throughout the live stream barking. And also, my neighbors are having a party, so you might hear that too.
So,
All
do you
right.
have anything to show from that collection?
I have, I'm just going to say this. I've got so much stuff on my floor that I'm going to show right now. I guess I'll start with one of the things I just showed you. Actually, maybe not because I don't know where it went now. But here's another little ad. Uh, I don't know what company it is. Reach Major League Mitts and Gloves. It's a Babe Ruth ad
Oh, wow.
from 1928. And there's some gloves right there. There's Ruth. Um, I mean, we got stuff like this um, from that collection, and then we got stuff like this, comic books. This is a Giants comic book. You got uh, DeRocher, Willie Mays, Bobby Thompson, Alvin Dark, Monty Irvin, Magley, Whitey Lockman, Eddie Stanky, and I mean, this is just beautiful.
Wow. Don't let Rick see that.
Is he a Giants fan?
Yeah. Yeah, Giants fan and especially Willie Mays.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, what was Sam Magley's nickname? Do you know?
Um, I know this. Give me a hint. Give me a hint.
Shop.
Shocked.
Shop. It usually comes before shop.
Um,
His nickname was the barber because
oh yeah, Barber.
he'd
Oh yeah,
he'd give
I
you a
knew that.
shave.
I knew that. I knew that. I should have. And then also along with that stuff, there was some beautiful, beautiful. I think this is Camel cigarettes. This is Dizzy Dean. Um, Dizzy Dean. What does it say? Shoot him over to win the most thrilling World Series in history.
I'm a
Or
Dizzy Dean fan. I'd love to get his cards.
yeah, I read the I forgot what it was called. It was Dizzy Dean biography. It was really good.
Yeah, I
Um,
just got my second tattoo warbit at the National.
oh yeah,
It was
I think
just too nice to pass up.
what was it a Dizzy Dean?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool.
yeah. And your buddy Stuke gave me a Daffy Dean gold medal flower
Oh,
premium.
okay.
Yeah,
Those are
Daffy doesn't have a whole lot of cards. So he was also a good pitcher.
yeah. Yep.
Dizzy and Daffy Dean. So do you think there will ever be another 300 game winner?
300. I would personally say no. I don't think pitchers pitch enough innings to have another three, and they don't pitch as much anymore.
Yeah, as often. Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, Verlander still needs like 50 wins.
Yeah,
That could be 3 seasons.
I don't think Verlander will get there.
I kind of don't either. And then the other guys that are close, Zach Greinke, he's not, man, he's not very close. Uh, Clayton Kershaw, it surprised me how far he is. He'll never make it.
Yeah.
And Garrett Cole, he's not even halfway there. So I don't see anybody doing it again.
How long has Garrett
Which
Cole
is
been in the league for?
Oh, when did he come up? 2010-ish,
Oh,
I
really?
think.
I didn't really.
I'm trying to remember somewhere around there, maybe a little bit earlier. Somewhere around there.
I didn't really start watching baseball until about 2015. I mean, 2015.
Yeah.
I was, like 5-6 years old. I think.
Right.
My math probably isn't right. Well,
Yeah.
Orlando is in the chat now.
So Orlando, what do you think? Will there be another 300 game winner? Maybe if we bring Louis Tiant back, like they brought Minnie Minoso, he could pitch a few games.
How many wins does Louis Tiant have?
I think, I can't remember. I think he's close. He's close. But I don't know. He's one of those definitely borderline. He could be in the Hall.
Yeah. Yep.
Just depending on. Baseball fans are very opinionated. You'll have the crowd that says he should be in. You'll have the crowd that says, no way, he shouldn't be in. He doesn't have the numbers or whatever. But he's definitely at least a borderline Hall of Famer.
Orlando says no more 300 game winners.
Yeah, I mean, a pitcher would have to really – and this is possible when you look at a guy like Tom Brady, how long he's played quarterback. Yep. These days, it is possible if you stay in shape to play longer than the guys of the past. I mean, if you had somebody with an exceptionally long career and could stay healthy and still have their arm, a guy like Rich Hill, only a better pitcher, right?
Yeah.
Maybe, but I don't see it happening again.
Rick said, "I love my Tiant cards."
Oh yeah, thanks, Rick. He snaked the Tiant Senior Cuban card.
My dad said Tiante has 229 wins.
229.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've got some other things here. This was also from the collection. I'm sure you're gonna like this, John.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I don't have one of those either.
We have. There was actually a couple of them. We got Roberto and Ron Swoboda.
Well, if you sell that Roberto, don't you sell that without reaching out to me first?
Oh, I don't know if we're gonna be selling that.
Yeah, that's the one poster. That's his only one I need. I have the Willie Stargell back here from that year. That's the 71, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, and I think those are the rarest posters.
Well, you should have bought it when this guy was selling it because he was only selling it for $75.
I'll give you $100 for
it. 72.
I'll tell you what. I'll double your money. I'll give you $150.
Oh, okay. That seems fair. we got.
Just don't let Rick snake it from me.
Rick. What else we got here? You got anything you're gonna show yet?
No, I was gonna let you do all the showing.
Oh,
people are tired of seeing my cards.
Nobody gets tired of seeing your cards. Um, we've got a 1939 Lou Gehrig picture. It's a cutout. It's a really really nice picture though.
Yeah, it sure is in color.
Yeah. Um, we believe it's 1939 because it says something about how he's his illness and
Yeah,
so
that would make sense.
yeah. Um, I've got a lot of stuff lined up here. We got another Babe Ruth ad. This one's a little bit more. I like this one a little bit more.
I'll tell you what, that's a really unique collection that
I,
guy kept all those
yeah,
old ads and stuff.
and every
I mean, I do that, but I wasn't born in, I didn't, I wasn't around in 1929, so my stuff's way more recent.
the best thing about this whole collection is everything came backed with cardboard, and there was wrap over it. It was
Yeah. And I'll
uh,
tell you, if anybody's watching and they're interested, they have things like that. They want that backing board and so forth. BCW Supplies is a great place to get all that stuff.
oh yeah,
Yeah, they have a lot of like comic. I just love that store. They
BCW.
need to sponsor me because I'm always giving them props. I've been
uh,
buying for them for decades, man. I used to get, back around the time that maybe grading started, maybe even before that, I would just get a big box of BCW supplies. I used to get so excited because I love curating my stuff and making sure everything's protected and in the right holder.
yeah,
It looks good and the right holder for it. And I always love getting a big box of BCW. Now, if you go onto their website directly, they sell in kind of lots. Like there's a minimum order you need to buy. At least it used to be. But you could buy, through eBay or other avenues. There are resellers of their stuff. But if you go to them directly, it's like if you're buying boxes, like graded shoe boxes or something. Normally, there's a minimum of 5, something like that. You have to buy a little bit in bulk, which I never minded. I had no problem filling those up.
yeah. They sell like card holders and everything, right?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, their semi-rigids are my favorite, because they how like, Ultra Pro and I love Card Savers. I love that brand too, but they kinda stick a little bit.
Yep.
BCW's is a little smoother, and it doesn't kinda do that. Like, when you get Card Savers, I don't know, they stick a little bit, like, I have to put my hand in there,
Yep.
loosen it up a little bit.
Sometimes you bend the
You don't
card.
have to do that with the BCWs. I don't know how they're made a little differently, but they just seem a little easier to slide cards in and out.
Hmm.
And I like the look of them.
I think most of the ones I have are Ultra Pro, but those are pretty much just card. Those are pretty much just from cards that I bought, and then I just reuse the holders.
Yeah.
We've got thousands of them stacked away somewhere.
Yeah, I love getting me a stack of holders, and cards. Your card holders over time can get scratched up or not look so nice. So I started using the sleeves over top of them. The perfect fit sleeves,
Oh yeah,
and that way I never have to touch them again.
they never turn yellow.
Yeah, in the old days, everybody had banged up slabs, right? They'd always be scratched.
Yeah.
I'd order a card and the slab would be scratched. I'd be so mad. And I have this stuff that's called slab renewal,
Okay.
and it'll take scratches right off of there, man.
Huh.
Yeah, it's great
Sounds
stuff.
good.
I keep a bottle, so when I get one, it has scuffs or scratches. I clean it up and then I put a perfect fit sleeve on it. Good to go.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that same stuff they use for headlights, that scratch
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
And I know people have used that as well.
Yeah.
But you would think that they would use a plastic that was scratch resistant or something.
Yeah. You think, especially with like the really really expensive cards.
They probably make too much money with reholders, right? How
Yeah.
many people send in for reholders every year? A million times $5 each or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
I mean, yeah. But if I was SGC, maybe I'd do the same thing. Get a
Yeah,
lot.
right.
Well, let's look at some of the comments here. TEW Card said being sponsored by a card supplies company is a dream.
Yes, it would be.
Orlando says free supplies for Mangini for ad.
There you go,
Yeah.
Orlando. I like that idea.
Well, We got Double D in the house.
Dylan.
Here I got another couple here. Yeah, I got another couple. Here's a Daisy air rifles. Oh yeah, is that Dylan's card?
Yeah.
Daisy air.
Oh man, I used to love to shoot those as a kid.
Yeah.
I did something really stupid. I went over to my friend's house and he had a BB gun, and he was one of those kids where we were kind of left alone a lot and to our own devices. And he had like in the early days of cable, he had HBO, and we could watch inappropriate things because nobody was ever home. And we went into his garage, and I decided I was going to shoot a BB gun in the garage. So I shot the damn thing. I'm so lucky. I shot it, and it went ting, 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 and hit me right in the lip. It went all around. It must have hit 10 walls, and then shot and hit me right in the lip. It swelled up. I mean, I was so close to doing some major damage. I'm such an idiot.
That sounds like, I mean, that's just what kids do.
I know.
But anyway, this Daisy air rifle, it's got a couple guys on here, but there's only one baseball player on it, and that's Tris Speaker. Is that Tris? Wait, yeah, Tris Speaker.
What record does he hold?
Most. It's most. Is it triples?
Well, I know he holds the most doubles record.
Most doubles, yeah.
He might have triples too, for all I know. I know he doesn't have most triples in a single season. That belongs to Owen Chief Wilson. 36.
Wow.
That'll never be broken because the ballparks were bigger back then.
Oh, okay. When was that? Like 1918 or 18 something?
Before that, he played like I don't know. It was around 1909, 10, somewhere in there, 8, somewhere in there. He was on the 1909 Pirates fantastic team. He got his nickname Chief because Fred Clark, the manager and outfielder for the Pirates at the time, said I guess he was tall and statuesque physique, and he said he looked like a chief from a Texas Ranger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's how he got his name Chief.
I never knew that. Here's another Tris Speaker ad, another Daisy air rifle ad too, up there in the corner.
So Tris Speaker sponsored Daisy. I never knew that.
Yeah, me neither. There was a lot of ads in this collection. Here's another one. This one's actually really awesome. Let me get it back in. Got Ty Cobb.
eBay. I just got a notification. There's two Schmidts on there. Walter Schmidts. I've been looking for a Walter Schmidt card. Old catcher for the Pirates.
What type of Walter?
I can't find any.
Really?
So now there's a notification. So I have to go check it out real fast before somebody snags them. No, I'm kidding.
Walter Schmidt.
Walter Schmidt, yeah.
When did he play?
He's a Pirate I don't have.
Oh, okay. Was he back in the
back in like the teens, I'm sorry, in the early 20s, early to mid 20s.
Oh, okay.
Probably his rarest card is probably the Walter Mails. I'm sure it is. And then he has I think a Nilsson's chocolate or the cutout version of that particular one with the ornate around it. And that's a really nice looking card. And then what's the other? He has another card I'm drawing a blank on at the moment that I would get to.
I don't think I know either one of those cards.
Yeah, do I have any laying around?
I've been reading all of your
I'll show you
your newsletters. Here's another.
Yeah, so what do you think of that newsletter?
I like it. I like reading it. It's like a little, like you got the Canadian one, you got the United Kingdom one, and what was the first one? That was
the first one I did on Cy Williams.
Oh yeah,
and the what was it? The W502 side, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
I think, and then so I had a guest article done from a guy. He used to comment on all my stuff on here. Still, he came back and did some videos himself. He was real knowledgeable over in England, So he did an English set in this last one, and then I have my next one, JP Wisco. Tony did
Oh,
a guest article for me on. Did you ever see that uncut Japanese sheet of cards I have with the Joe DiMaggio and a few Japanese players?
I do not think so.
That's all right. But anyway, it's what he did was after I got mine and showed it on a video, he was enamored with it. He had to have one, so he went out and bought one.
Hmm.
So he just did an article on that set, and it's so cool because he took the backs and translated them because he speaks Japanese. He lives in
Uh-huh.
Japan, and he translated them all. So the next newsletter is going to go over that set with translations of the backs of the cards, who they are.
Wow.
I'm excited to release that.
And what's that set called?
You know
Or do
what?
you?
It's a Menko set. I don't
Oh, okay.
know. I forget off the top of my head the year. What Menko was like a card game. So they had on the back, like some of them, you'll notice some of those Japanese cards are thicker.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, I think the game was called, was it Pong? There was an old game. What you do is
Uh-huh.
you hit it, and it bounces up and flips. And then the backs flip up like odd or even or whatever. And that
Oh, okay.
I don't know the intricacies of the game, but that's essentially what Menko cards were meant to do.
Hmm.
It was a card game. So on the back, you had that. Anyway, I think the term just became ubiquitous for all the cards that look like that.
Oh, okay.
And then the little ones that are black and white, the Japanese ones that are black and white are called bromides. And that was the term that was used for those types of photographs in Japan.
Hmm.
So that's the difference between a bromide and a Menko. The
I,
Menkos are the more cartoony looking ones.
I don't think
Usually.
I don't
Usually.
think I own any Japanese cards.
No,
I mean,
I went down that rabbit hole during COVID because I wasn't going to
oh,
pay
okay.
the prices
Yeah.
for US cards. And I ended up with a fantastic Japanese collection.
Huh. Well, talking about Joe DiMaggio, we've got the Joe DiMaggio restaurant menu right here. This was also in the collection.
Oh, yeah?
It's kind of random. There is a lot of random stuff like this too. And I think next I'll show some cards.
Here's the Dizzy Dean I picked up at the National, the second
Oh,
one.
yeah.
I have
Two.
two of them now.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That was always a dream card of mine growing up. That one I saw breakout cards had at the National. It was just too nice. I couldn't pass it up. Okay, so these are the cards I was talking about with the Walter Schmidt. See, with the ornate,
Oh, yeah.
that style. And they made a few different styles like that. Like this is the blank back strip card, and they have Nelson's chocolate. And I think there's another one I'm drawing a blank on. And then the what else the Walter Mails. That Walter Mails game is rare. Of course, he was a player, and he put this game together. I'm not sure if he was still playing when he did, but they're really rare game cards if I can find them. And the number one card in that set is the Walter Johnson that everybody would want.
I love Walter Johnson.
And it's a great card too. Great looking card.
I don't know if I showed these off yet while they're graded. But I showed them off in a video. I don't think I ever showed them in a live stream though. And those are the 26 Spaldings. I got Roger Hornsby back. That
Do you?
1 point.
Oh man, I'd love to have that one.
And then I got the Rube Marquard, which came back at 2.
I'd love to have that one. So here's the coupon.
Oh yeah,
turned in for those.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, here's the Babe Ruth.
Wow, that's amazing.
And here's I have Max Carey.
Okay.
And I have an autograph, Joe Soul.
That's amazing.
And I have a Wally Pitt.
He's autographed.
So I don't have those two you have.
Well, actually, I have 3. I've got Jim Bottomley too.
Oh yeah, Bottomley. Those are 3 great players, man.
And you know what? I've got I've got about 5 or 6 more. They're not in the Hall of Fame, but they're. I did a video on them, and then we also had a bunch of like the cycling and the pool players, but we sold all those because they don't really fit in my collection very well. Yeah.
Man, those are nice. Hold on, I pulled the wrong. I have two boxes of 1920s and 30s obscure cards, and I got the Walter Mails is in the other one, but I won't take up a lot of time. I don't see it.
Here's my Joe Tinker
Wait, I
205.
think I see it. Oh yeah, that was either the first or second T205 I ever got.
Oh,
That
really?
and the Home Run Baker.
This
Yeah.
this is the first one I ever have.
It was in the early 90s, and I remember I ordered them from, I believe it was Kit Young Cards.
Hmm.
I think it was Kit Young or a seller similar. And I ordered it from a catalog, sight unseen. And they
How much?
always did such a fabulous job of describing it. When you would call, they'd describe it to you. They told you what the grade was, and they were always accurate. I was always happy. There was a woman that I used to call, and she would describe it, and that's how I would buy it. I bought my '69 Mickey Mantle that way,
How
and
much?
she was dead on too with her description, because when I graded it, it graded a 6, and that's exactly how she described it would
Wow.
be.
Um, I brought some. I brought some Red Hearts down too.
Oh, nice.
I've started a little PC of Red Hearts. It's definitely gonna be hard to complete it. I got the Gil McDougall. That's the only graded one I have. This one's a really really sharp card.
Oh
Um,
yeah, nice.
and
I
then
don't think I have those two.
oh really?
You have all kind of cards I don't have.
I've got the Sherman Lawler.
I don't have that one either.
You have the Billy Cox.
No.
Wow. What
You could complete my set for me.
got Eddie Yost,
You have all the cards I don't have.
and you probably have this one. And then you got Jimmy Fox too.
Nellie Fox.
No, yeah, Nelly Fox.
I
That
actually don't have the Nellie Fox.
there's no way.
I have a bunch, but apparently they're all the ones you don't have.
Well,
I mean, you have all the ones I don't have. Here's the Walter Mails game.
and that's oh yeah, that's cool. That back looks really nice.
Yeah, these are really, really rare.
Really,
They're really hard to find.
wow.
I would love to have the Walter Johnson. I have what do I only have 3 of them.
Only 3. I can't see who is that.
Oh, that's Ed Rommel, and
Oh,
this
okay.
is George Burns. Now there were 2 George Burnses, and one of them was a base stealer, and this is the one that was a base stealer, and it's just an awesome image because he's stealing a base
Oh,
there, or at least sliding into a
that's
base. So yeah, and these old playing cards, they're cool looking on the back.
yeah. I've got a playing card. Ugh. This isn't nearly as cool as your Ed Ramos, but um, I can't identify who the player is. But
Oh yeah. I've seen that. I can't remember if there's been anything written or anybody's figured that out on
1913
who that.
game.
Yeah, I don't know. I just my here's the shoeless. Well, is that the 13? Yeah, national game. Here's the
Oh yeah.
shoeless Joe Jackson.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Here's a Ty Cobb.
Wow. Those playing cards don't go as much as I mean, they're fairly cheap compared to the P2Os.
They are, but they've been running up in
Yeah.
value lately because as the other cards get totally out of hand, there's more of a demand for the lower priced ones,
Yeah.
and they're from their playing days, and some of them are fantastic images. I mean, this Miller Huggins, this is a fantastic looking card.
Oh wow.
And you got Cy Young. You know what? I'm sorry. I moved on. Oh no, that's right. Yeah, because the Polo Ground cards they look very similar.
I like the Polo Grounds. That's probably one of
Yeah.
the stadiums.
Got my Honus Wagner up there. Here's a Tris speaker.
Wow.
I keep my Honus Wagner in a display up there. I love the image on there. It's him batting.
I believe you have the. Here's a got a Frankie Frisch.
I love those strip cards. A lot of
Yeah,
people don't like them, but I love them.
they're not my favorite, but they're nice.
I got a lot of strip cards. This one here, where is it? This Luke Gehrig's nice.
Oh wow, I like that
And
orange.
these are black on the back.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Yeah, so this was a multi-subject set, and they only had 4 baseball players. So I have all 4 of them. This is Al Simmons
Wow. Oh,
and Harry Heilman, a really great ball player you don't hear a lot about.
yeah, I've never
Both
heard.
of those guys, Al Simmons too. And here's Tony Lazzeri. This is a cool one.
Oh, you know what? I've got a Tony Lazzeri too.
So yeah, so you have, and for whatever reason, they have 3 are like pinkish, and then the one is black and white. So I don't know why that is.
Here's my Tony Lazzeri.
Yeah, nice. The batter upset's one of my favorites.
Yeah, they're nice looking cards. I've actually
Yeah, I got a whole box of those babies.
Is Pepper Martin.
Yeah, Pepper Martin. What was the name of the team? What was the nickname of the team he was on?
The Gas House Gang.
There you go. Now, Pepper Martin, even though if you look at his stats, they weren't that outstanding, he was known to really step up his game in the World Series and stuff. He was a clutch player. He was a big part of that team, Pepper Martin. Yeah, I grew up kind of fascinated with him. I picked his cards up when I was really young.
Mm. Here's my other T205.
Who was that?
Davy Jones.
Oh, Davy Jones.
Yeah, I mean,
What do you know about Davy Jones?
I have no idea. Except for
Well, he was in that book, Glory of Their Times, and he was
yeah.
he was the right the right fielder. Ty Cobb in center, Sam Crawford in left. I believe he was in right, but he was part of that outfield with Ty Cobb and Sam Crawford, and that's why he was overshadowed.
Wait, in the T205 set, is the polar bear back worth any more, or is that?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not really into the backs of those.
Yeah,
but I think so.
I got this for $20 at a card show. The guy was
really,
yeah, it's authentic, but the guy who was selling it, he had all modern stuff, and then he had one vintage card, and I picked that up. And he actually played for Minneapolis, which is the Millers. Here's another minor league. I think you have this one.
Who is that?
It's Arthur Lee Wilson.
Oh yeah. He was one of the best defensive shortstops in the Negro Leagues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, Aaron Davis told me he was the best, so I don't know. So he must have been a good, smooth fielding shortstop. That's a good one to have. Yeah, after Aaron told me that, I had to go find his card. One of those guys that didn't make it to the pros. I guess he made it up to the minor league at the end of his career.
Is the last card that I pulled out. 1957 nice. Henry Aaron.
Yeah, it's always funny, that reverse negative. It would have been cool if they would have corrected that and there were 2 versions to get.
Oh, are all of them like this?
They're all that. It's uncorrected, yeah.
Huh.
They're all like that.
I thought mine was just weird.
No, it would have been great if they had corrected it. You could get both versions.
I've got 2 I've got to find something really quick. Oh, I'm back. Well, I've got two things to show that they go together. I've got the, what is this called? The
W517.
W17 Mickey
Yeah.
Cochran.
Great set.
And then I think I showed this to you. I sent a picture of it to you. 1935 World Series souvenir. And
Yeah.
that's on the front. I'm gonna
That's
take.
fabulous.
I have to be very gentle with it because it's very, very frail. But
Now, do you have any idea if those were handed out at the game or if they were sold in a stand during the game or after the game?
I have no idea. And I just found this yesterday. Here's what's in the middle of this. I did not show you this.
Oh, wow.
That's the
That's
whole.
Detroit?
Yep, that's Detroit. And then there's more things like Charlie Gehringer pictures. And what's really cool about this is all the box scores are filled out from game 1 to game 7.
Oh, wow. That is cool. You know, a lot of people think that stuff like that devalues it, but I actually find that enhances it for me.
Yep. I do too. I think that's really awesome when you find ones like that, especially the really old ones.
Yeah, that's you know, when it comes to, I collect like stamp backs where kids would put their initials or a certain stamp on the back of vintage cards, and I love to collect those, but grading goes out the window. They're automatically like a 1.5 or 1.
Yeah.
But I don't care, not
Here-
really into grading, so.
Here's another Ty Cobb ad. This one's a
That's great.
little bit better. The next one,
Man, I have never seen somebody have that kind of ad collection
I
ever.
didn't even know these existed. This next one is probably
And you, for the audience here, you've only shown a few pieces, but you sent me pictures of your entire floor filled up with those things.
well, they're not. They're more magazines, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of these too. This one is probably one of my favorite ones out of the collection. Well, this is what it looks like, and I'll start up at the top here. That's Grover Cleveland Alexander. I don't know if you know who he is. I have no idea who he is.
What's his name? I can't see.
Hoblitzel.
Oh, yeah.
RC.
I forget how to pronounce his name. Is it Hartsnell?
No, I'm not sure. First baseman for Boston.
Is that Gabby Hartsnell? I might have the wrong player.
Yeah, I don't think it. But there's Miller Huggins.
Yeah.
And in this corner we got Ty Cobb.
Yeah.
And then we've got Roger
Bresnahan.
Yes.
Yeah, I worked with a relative of his.
Oh, really?
His last name is Bresnahan. One day I just asked him out of the blue, and he was like, "Yeah, it's a relative of ours."
And the last person is Christy Mathewson.
Yeah, awesome.
Tuxedo. Tobacco.
Now, what? There was a Tuxedo Tobacco?
Yep.
Man, I never heard of that.
And it was like it was an ad, and they'd give you a free tobacco patch.
Well, what's interesting is you would think that if they were sponsoring all those ball players and it was tobacco, they would have had cards.
Yeah.
But I don't know of any tuxedo cards.
I think this might be more of like chewing tobacco.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
Could be.
Here's a cool one. A Lou Gehrig, Wheaties, I think. Huskies.
Yeah.
Huskies.
Oh, Huskies? Like the pants?
No, like the cereal. I've never heard of them.
Oh, there was a cereal called Husky?
Yeah, I had no idea. And
when I was young, they had jeans called Huskies. It was for fatter, chubbier people. They called them Huskies.
Oh, you're gonna think this is cool. I think this is cool as well. Sports Illustrated. We got Al Rosen on the front.
Oh yeah, look at that image. That's incredible.
But you know what's even better? Let me find it.
Oh, now is that paper? Is that
Yeah,
paper or cardboard?
it's paper.
Yeah, so you know, in 1954, they did those four tops in Sports Illustrated in
Yep.
two different editions.
Yep.
You familiar with those?
Yeah, I've seen them before.
Yeah, and they have a Mickey Mantle. It's a black and white, but in the second edition, they did cards that they didn't make the first time around.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, there's a Mickey Mantle in there. So people, anybody that really wants a 1954 tops Mickey Mantle, you can get a paper black and white one.
I'm just gonna say this. Rick said that I have better cards than you.
No doubt.
Okay, these are pretty cool. Uh, let me pick them up. Really. They kind of fell.
Let's get Rick in this chat. Here you go. Hey everybody, stay off my lawn.
Get off my lawn. Here, let me find some of the good ones.
Hey Rick, what time is it? What time is it in San Francisco?
Would it be the same time as you?
Oh man.
Oh no. I mean, it would be
opposite.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My dad's handing this to me.
It's way past his dinner time. He's probably napping.
I showed this to you.
Yep.
Walter Johnson. 1914. What is it? It's a what type of dad? What type of?
It's Royal Tailors.
Royal Tailors.
It was a book.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He's styling in that picture.
Yeah, we had 3 of them, right?
Eddie Matthews, Eddie Blank, Christy Mathewson, and Walter.
Oh wow. I've never even seen this stuff before.
Here, this is...
Now, Rick, Rick probably read the magazines back then.
We've got you've probably seen this one.
Cover first.
Rick was telling me how exciting it was. He used to beg people when they would come out with their cigarettes to get T206 cards off of them when he was a kid.
Oh.
Yep. So that Life magazine, I do have that.
Oh, you do?
And that has the Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris post serial cards in it.
Yep. There's the Mickey.
I do have a copy of that.
There's the Maris.
But the reason, see, I'm a card guy, so I don't collect a lot that's not cards. So the reason I have that one is because there's cards in there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Where did I put those? Oh, yeah.
Unless it's ad for cards. I like to collect anything, card related. So if there are ads for cards or packages, the cards came in, anything along those lines.
Here's a Carl Hubble pin.
1938 National Game Pin.
That's what they're called?
Yep, I have the complete set.
Oh,
they have
wow.
some fabulous players in there. They have Dizzy Dean, Lou Gehrig, Joe DiMaggio, Jimmy Fox. 1938 National Game Pins. They came on a backing, and if you could still find them with the backing on. My Joe DiMaggio has the backing on it.
Huh? What was it? Was it like a tobacco or?
No, I think they may have been sold by themselves.
Huh?
Because it's like a cardboard backing with that pin there. But that's a good question. I need to research that a little further. Never really thought about it.
I was trying to find this when we were talking about the Gas House Gang.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
You got Pepper Martin, Frankie Frisch, Jim Bottomley, Chick Hafey.
Now, is that a poster that maybe they sold at the stadium, or what is that? Do you know?
Newspaper out of St. Louis.
Yeah, it's out of the newspaper.
Oh, okay.
St. Louis Dispatch.
The retro gravure pictures.
That's really cool.
Yeah, really nice picture. I love the Cardinals on it. It's 1931.
Wow. I guarantee you, everybody watching this right now, they've never seen this stuff before.
Yeah. I mean, before we got this, I had no idea.
Yeah, I've never seen this stuff before.
Here's a Goose Goslin. I don't know if you know what this is. This one beat up.
Yeah, that's a 19. That is a what year? Oh, it's a Cracker Jack pin. I'm trying to think of
Oh,
the
it's a
year
crack.
here. Yeah, those were in Cracker Jacks.
Hmm.
Hold on, I'll tell you the year. 1930.
1930.
Yeah, I have. Here's the Lou Gehrig.
Okay.
That's what it is, right?
Yes, I believe that is.
Yeah. Here's the Dizzy Dean,
Oh wow.
and here's the Tony Lazzari. These are cool little pins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the Lou Gehrig.
Mine's a little scratched.
You ever see the Mrs. Sherlock's? 1924. I have the near set with Ty Cobb, Hans Wagner. Here's the Babe Ruth from 1924 Mrs. Sherlock's.
Huh? Is that
It was
like
a bread company.
bread? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Here's a Clark Griffith pin.
Oh yeah, that's is that a sweet capital?
Yep. And then I've got
Yeah, I have a near set of those.
Big Ed Walsh.
Oh yeah. What's his claim to fame? What's he the last man to do?
It's something about his ERA, right?
I think he doesn't he have the lowest ERA?
Lowest ERA, yeah.
But he was the last pitcher to win 40 games.
Oh, okay. What's this?
1929 Series Cubs.
Oh yeah.
Buy a radio so you can listen to them on the game.
You gotta introduce this.
I'm gonna step in for Jack a second here, but this is a 1929. I think it's the Chicago Herald and Examiner newspaper ad. Buy yourself a radio to listen to the World Series game, and you got a lot of greats on here. You got Joe McCarthy, Hack Wilson, Rogers Hornsby. Who else is on here? Guy Bush, Charlie Root, of course. Kai Kyler, also on there.
That's great.
That's a cool newspaper ad, I think. Yeah.
Well, glad you came from behind the camera.
I was upstairs listening to it on my other computer, so I didn't want to.
Hey, you don't have anything from any newspapers from the Black Sox scandal, do you?
No, I don't think.
No, but I do have really nice World War I sporting news.
Where is
with
that?
all the players that were serving. Around. I'll see if I can find this upstairs. So I'll let the good-looking kid back on camera.
Very cool. That's very cool. I'd love to have like original newspaper. When I was little, my mom used to collect me newspapers for like all major events that were happening when I was a baby.
Uh-huh.
And so I have a whole stack of them. I'd love to have one from the Black Sox.
Yeah,
those would be great articles to read too.
I'm kind of surprised we didn't stumble across one of those because we sure do have a lot from that era.
And you would think that would be something that people would keep. Hey George, how are you?
Got some pennants too out of it.
Nice.
Cardinals.
I like old pennants.
Yeah, me too.
I had a pennant collection. My mom started me when I was a little kid. That was my secondary. Oh, that one's great.
Yeah.
Picker Jim is jealous right now.
He's got the little version of this.
He's always $1 short and a day late.
This is
bigger isn't always better, but it's always bigger.
We've got the best team in the American League history.
Oh God.
We've got the real best team in American League history.
Who's the best Minnesota player ever?
Harmon
Killebrew?
Well, unless you're counting Washington Senators, then it's Walter Johnson.
Okay.
But that's it. And then we got the Yankees. This one's really awesome because it's got all the names on there. This one's actually probably my favorite.
Oh, that is nice.
Great color on it.
Fabulous.
And then this one's a local one. Redwood Falls, Minnesota.
The old pennants just they were like, I don't know, like hand sewn and everything.
Yeah.
They just don't make them like that anymore.
The new pennants just don't, I don't know. It's just the look of them.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore.
We're actually, so yeah, I'm gonna show this next. I've got a lot of things to show. This is I actually showed this in my last videos. This is my Wilson display. Got some cleats from the 50s with the original box. We
Oh,
got
nice.
Jim Pearsall glove and a Brooklyn Dodgers baseball. And then we
You
got
know the
some,
name of Jimmy Pearsall's book?
No, I do not.
You ever read his book?
Mm-mm.
It's
I didn't
called
know.
Fear Strikes Out.
Fear Strikes Out.
He had mental problems, and he used to have breakdowns on the field.
Oh,
I think
really?
it was one time he had a mental breakdown on the field, had to leave. Yeah, he was a real quirky guy, and I don't think like at the time they really understood, um, his ailment,
Yeah.
and he would do all kind of crazy things.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I never knew that.
but he was a good ball player. That kind of that distracted from that, but he was
Yeah.
a good ball player. Now, do you know about his 1954 Bowman card?
No, I do not.
Do you? Well, they have. He has cards with two different numbers. Do you know why?
I
So the
no.
the Ted Williams wasn't supposed to be made, right? They didn't
Oh
have
yeah.
the licensing for it. So when they pulled it, they had to replace that card number, and they just made a second Jimmy Pearsall with that number.
I had
So if
no.
you want the whole set and you want it
That's
to be complete, you have to have both Jimmy Pearsalls.
that's the 54 Tops or Bowman.
Bowman.
Bowman, yeah.
Bowman.
'Cause-
Remember the Ted Williams? They
yeah.
had to pull it, so it's a little more scarce.
Um.
That used to be one of the big cards in the hobby, and it used to be thought that it was more rare than it was.
Uh-huh.
After they came out and started grading, and we have a better idea of pop reports, it's still a scarce card, but at one time that thing was thought to be more rare because they pulled it from production.
This is the World War One thing we were telling you about.
Sporting news.
Sporting news, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's all the guys down there. There's some really good names on here. You got Ty Cobb, Tris Speaker, right there. George Sisler. Let me see. Eddie Collins.
Clark Griffith.
Where?
Nope, that one down.
Clark Griffith, right there. Let's see. I think that's pretty much,
Ty Cobb and Christy Mathewson served in the same regiment.
really.
Yeah, I think Ty Cobb was there when Christy Mathewson got the friendly fire gas treatment that eventually killed him.
Oh yeah. Yep. I did not know that. I did not know they served both in the same regiment.
Yeah. I don't know. I might not be calling it the right thing. I don't know what you call it.
Chemical warfare. Huh?
Same group, same. What do you call it? Is that right? Regiment?
Regiment? Is that what you call it? Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
We've got what is this? Oh yeah, here's a.
Oh, you want to hear something cool?
Yeah.
My before you show that, I have one of my best friends. His father when he was in the Korean War.
Okay.
He served with Elvis Presley.
Really?
When Elvis Presley went over, so he was a football player, and they treated the athletes a little differently, and they had their own bunks and stuff, and they got out of doing certain things that the other guys had to do.
Mhm.
And so they bunked Elvis Presley with the football team so he wouldn't have to do much. And he was basically like their lackey. He would run around and do whatever they needed. And he hung out with them. So he has all kind of pictures of him and Elvis Presley. Yeah, really cool.
I don't know if anybody remembers the video, but me and my dad did a video on midweek pictorial Babe Ruth covers. And this is not a Babe Ruth, but it's John McGraw, and he's holding, what is this? Like a
Mexican tiger or something.
Yeah, Mexican tiger.
Mexican wildcat.
Yeah.
Oh wow. I'd love to have one of those.
Yeah, they're kind of funny. We've got a couple McGraws. This one's got Roger Hornsby on it. Roger Hornsby.
Nice.
1813.
Oh yeah, another Police Gazette. John McGraw.
Classic John McGraw image right there.
And here's one of the Babe Ruths that we actually kept. I'm glad we kept this one because this is one of my favorites. This one's 1927.
Wow.
So yeah, that's all the ones.
So where do you guys sell cards when you sell? Do you online or you do shows or both?
Yeah, we try to show once. We usually sell online. So what happens is the auction that sponsors me, Sterling Sports Auctions, is my dad's childhood friend. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So once in a while we go over there. We usually after we buy something from his auction, go over to his house and he gives me some cards and some other goodies like these were from him. The Spaldings.
Nice.
Oh,
I can't believe you got those. You know, those are scarce.
yeah. Yep.
Those were unknown until like 1990. There was a
Really?
big find of them, and then a few years later there was a second find of them. Yeah, they were pretty much unknown
Wow.
until 1990.
Not a lot rated.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you turned in those coupons. I think you had to turn those in to get the coupon to buy sporting goods. And as with all those cards where you would redeem them,
Mhm.
I don't think they gave them back. And I think that's why they became so
Oh.
scarce. Because you would turn that in, and if you were a little kid and didn't have a lot of money, a glove or a ball or a bat or whatever was, I'm sure, more important to you than a card.
Yeah. Yeah. Here's another little. This is Louisville Slugger, famous sluggers, and you got Jimmy Fox and Ernie Lombardi.
Oh, nice.
I've got a ton of these. I put them all in frames, and they're up in my room right now. But I still have to put these ones in a frame. Here's the 1950. You got Jackie Robinson, George Kell, Ted Williams, and Ralph Kiner.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm a Kiner fan.
Yep.
Now, Ernie Lombardi, how many batting titles did he win?
One, but maybe two.
My dad said one, but maybe two. I'm gonna say.
I think he won two. As a catcher, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
And what do you have? One MVP, I think.
Yep.
The four best catchers throughout history were all Italians. Ernie Lombardi, Roy Campanella, Yogi Berra, and Johnny Benchio.
Was Johnny Bench Italian?
No, I just joke and put a vowel at the end. Johnny Benchio.
Johnny Benchio.
I don't know what it was about Italians, but they were all they were good catchers back in the day.
Huh?
Now, then you had like Joe Garagiola. Maybe not so much, but he was probably solid defensively.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Him and Yogi Berra were big friends, right?
They grew up together, I guess. And Yogi Berra is the one that talked him into trying out. He wasn't even going to try out.
Oh, yeah, I think I heard a story about that. It was like they paid Joe Garagiola more than George Kell to sign or something like that.
Yogi Berra to sign it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know that one.
But talking about catchers, 1954. Milwaukee Braves. Del Crandall, catcher's mitt ashtray.
Oh wow! I never saw a catcher's mitt ashtray before.
We actually had three. Two of them were fielder's gloves, but we sold those two to Stuke actually. He did a video on them, but yeah.
Stuke may be a bigger hoarder than me. So when I was with Lou Piniella, he told me this story about Yogi Berra. It was hilarious. He said they went out to get a bite to eat, and Yogi ordered the pizza. It was like a personal pizza, right? And he said, and he ordered it, and the waitress was walking away, and he said, "Excuse me, wait a minute." He's like, "Is that pizza 8 slices or 4? Do you cut it in 8 slices or 4?" And she said 4, and he's like, "Oh, good, because I couldn't eat 8."
Oh, that's good. That's funny. Have you heard the Casey Stengel one? I was watching the Ken Burns documentary. Actually,
Yeah.
just and they were talking about Stangalese, and you know what Stangalese is, right?
I mean, yeah, but I don't think I know what you're gonna say.
Well, okay, so he said they're talking about different sayings. He said, but one that really hit me, it was really funny to me, was everybody line up by height alphabetically.
Yeah, I just heard one. I can't remember who Eddie Stanky's manager was, um, and who said this, but somebody. I'm drawing a blank, but they said he can't hit, he can't throw, he can't run, but all he could do is win.
Rocher, probably.
Leo
DeRocher.
My dad says Leo
Leo DeRocher. Okay, Leo the Lip.
The Lip. Yep.
That's a funny one. One of my favorites is Ralph Kiner. You know, he was all the Pirates had. He was a superstar, right? Led the league his first 7 years in the league in home runs.
Mm-hmm.
And Branch Rickey was the Pirates general manager. And so, Ralph Kiner went in and he said he wanted more money. And Branch Rickey told him, he said, if I could come in last place with you, I could come in last place without you. And that's how he ended up going to Cleveland.
Oh. Huh. Concrete Buddies, or George said, there's a nice book written by Joe Garagiola with a lot of funny stories about him and Yogi.
I bet.
What?
I bet.
George, what is that? What is that book?
Joe Garagiola was a great announcer, man. I used to love to listen to him.
I didn't know he was an announcer.
Yes.
Yeah, way before your time. In fact, I have an autographed card in the style of 1973, and it was I think can't read it from here, but I think it was the ABC TV stars. They used to have on TV, they would have different events and stuff, and they made a card of them for that, and I have a signed copy of it because I was a fan of his. I don't know, some of these Tim McCarver too. He was a great announcer.
Oh yeah,
and Bob Uecker. I don't know what it is about catchers, but they. I think they know the game better than anybody else because they kind of run it, right?
Yeah,
they're kind of the quarterback out there.
Yeah, like a quarterback. Yeah,
fielder.
Yeah.
Or a center like me, which is
there you go.
Field.
So you're a Mick Tinglehoff fan, right?
Yep.
You'd have to be as a center in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, greatest center of all time.
Greatest center of all time. I'd have to argue with my boy Mike Webster.
It's got to be Tinglehoff.
Got to be Tinglehoff.
253 consecutive games.
253 consecutive games.
Didn't Jim Otto have a lot of consecutive games?
Yeah.
Yep. That's what my dad. I'm not a big football.
Did Mick Tinglehoff have more consecutive games than Jim Otto?
Yes, way more.
How about
Mike Webster? He never came out of the game ever.
Mike Webster.
Yeah.
Tinglehoff holds the record.
All right. Well.
Now,
hey, just because you played every game doesn't mean you played them well.
That's
Pro Bowler and Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Hall of Fame.
No, I know he's a Hall of Famer. He got in just a few years ago, finally. I know Fran Tarkenton was so happy he got in. He said it was well deserved.
Yep, Fran Tarkenton did his inauguration speech.
I'm so old. I would remember when Fran Tarkenton was on a TV show called "That's Incredible."
That's incredible. That's incredible. We've got a really nice magazine. It's Sports Illustrated, right?
No,
Life magazine. It's the Fantastic one.
Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Oh, I don't know what my dad.
Man, Fran, he was watching him scramble was a thing of beauty.
I wish I got
the thing is he didn't scramble because he wanted to. He was just always getting killed back there, and he didn't have a good line. He would just have to run for his life. But watching him was fantastic.
Norm Van Brocklin didn't like that, right?
No.
Yeah. He didn't like the. This is the Life magazine that my dad thought I was talking about. This one's really awesome. Fran Tarkenton actually has this in his house, right?
His office collection.
Office, yeah. So here's the front of it, and we didn't realize.
Sweet.
It gets better though. We didn't realize that you open it up and it folds out into the whole huddle.
Oh man, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh, it's a little difficult to put back though. Yeah. Yeah, and with this collection, there was just so much stuff that like things like that. We keep looking through it, and we keep finding more stuff. I mean, it's been like what 2-3 months since we've gotten it, and we're still finding more and more stuff that we've never seen.
I'll tell you what, there is nothing better than getting a big haul of stuff and just looking through it for hours and days. That is so much fun, and searching for those gems, and just seeing stuff you never saw before. That's so much fun to do. I haven't done that in a long time. A long, long, long time, where you buy like a little collection or just a lot of stuff, Yeah, nothing better.
John, do you know what this is off of?
Yep, Transagram, 1969.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think
Here, let me show you.
I think I had a conversation about this with you before.
So those were little, they were little toys,
Oh, okay.
and they came like this, but they had single ones, and then they had threes too,
Okay.
like 3 different players, and you'll see the uncut sheets. But this is what they looked like.
Oh yeah.
And all the players looked alike. So you can't tell the difference, but on the back of their jersey has their name, and that's really the only way you could tell. But this is how they came on the box.
Oh yeah. That's Mazeroski, right?
Yes. Now, what some people will do, and you'll see this on eBay and crap, is there's another little picture on the top of the box.
Oh yeah. I had
And yeah, they'll pawn that off as a card. It's really not. It might be cool to have, but this is the card.
Yeah.
But that's what they look like. They're real fragile. This one is off. They come on a stand. This one's off the stand. I think it fell that. It came off in shipping.
Oh.
It was on the stand when I bought it, but it's so hard to find. I didn't send it back.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. They're little fragile toys. I really wanted it for the card and just the box to, it's cool to see how they came.
Yeah. Didn't you say you had you bought a ton of those when you were younger, or am I thinking?
No, those predated me.
I think
Yeah.
that might have been Stuke. I think.
How? Yeah, I don't know. Is he older than me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was those definitely predated me. I did collect the Hostess cards when I was young, and some of the later Kellogg's cards. Not the early ones. The early ones, I wouldn't. I'm not that old.
You recognize this picture?
Yeah, I recognize the picture. What is that? That's Pee Wee Reese from the 53 Bowman.
Yep, it's a This Week magazine. So we have.
I never heard of that.
We've got another one right here.
Oh, that reminds me. I miss This Week in Baseball so much.
Mel Allen.
So there's actually 2 different magazines, and we've got both of them. So I showed this to Bowman 53.
Yeah.
And on a live stream that he was doing, and he goes, "Oh, I've never seen that before." And then he kind of goes silent for a second, and he goes, "Well, guys, this might just be a first. I just bought that on eBay." Yeah, so we've got.
Yeah, that's great. That's great to have with the card.
Yeah. Sadly, we don't have the card, but
that picture.
I'd love to have that.
And it solved his long mystery of who took this picture.
Yeah, right. When I have my museum, I would display those together.
Oh, you had that?
No, when I have my museum, I said I'll display those together. That'd be pretty cool.
Free tickets.
You absolutely.
What's next? You got anything?
Purple people eaters.
Anything else to show?
No, not really.
You've got great.
I just got back in town. Man, I just showed so many things. I just did huge rummage videos and
Yeah.
everything I got from the National. Uh, so I put everything away, which that takes a long time.
Oh, this goes with my Red Heart cards.
Oh no, I have something fell over here.
Red Heart ad. We got
Oh man, my L. Oliver RC can fell over.
Oh, your RC can. We've got a bunch of those cans. I don't think those
I
RC.
had these as a kid, and I don't know whatever happened to them because I would never have thrown them away. My mom must have.
Yeah.
But at some point I lost them. Unless, I have a whole storage area filled with boxes that I haven't gone through in a long time, and I may have some in there. I have I'm a bit of a hoarder. I could probably be on that show, Hoarders.
Aren't all baseball collectors hoarders though?
Yeah, but see, my thing is it's not hoarding if you have cool stuff.
What does John like to say when I got some free time? I like to go.
Oh
through.
yeah.
You'd like to what?
Oh.
What do you say?
What were you saying?
No, John. He always says in his videos, like, well, when I've got some free time, I like to sit down.
I like to go through my baseball cards.
I like to go.
Like to look at some baseball cards.
Oh yeah. I like to look at some I look to look at some Time magazines. We got Gabby Street.
Oh yeah. Okay, so do you know what he did?
He was a manager of the Gas House Gang, right?
Does your dad know?
What
He was a catcher.
The publicity stunt he did?
Oh yes, catching grapefruit from a drop from a hot air balloon, I think it was, or a plane.
It was a baseball dropped out of the Washington Monument.
From the Washington Monument. That's what it was.
Yeah. And it took him like 12 tries to actually catch it.
That's right.
Did he use a glove or a grapefruit?
He used a glove. He was a catcher, right?
Oh yeah.
He used a catcher's mitt, and they dropped it from the Washington Monument. And I think it took him 12 tries. I think he caught it on the 12th try.
It's a lot of grapefruit.
Baseball.
That thing had to be flying when it came down.
Yeah. There's another one. This is a really nice looking one. Stan Musial.
Oh man, Dawn is so jealous right now.
Oh, this is
Dawn for president 2024.
This is probably my favorite one, and I know it's my dad's favorite one too. Campy.
Oh yeah, that's fantastic.
And everything from the collection was just in such nice condition too.
What a great catcher he was.
Yeah.
So do you know the story on when Branch Rickey brought him up?
I don't think so. You'll have to tell me more.
So Branch, he was playing in the Negro Leagues and he was making a good pay. So Branch Rickey, and he liked the team and he liked everybody. So Branch Rickey called him and said, "How would you like to play for the Dodgers?" And he's like, "No, thank you. I'm real happy where I'm at."
Mm.
So they had the Negro League Dodgers. I think they were called the Black Dodgers.
Oh yeah.
And so he was hanging out with Jackie Robinson, and he said, "Yeah." He said, "Branch Rickey wanted me to play for the Black Dodgers. He gave me a call." And Jackie said to him, he said, "Are you sure they were talking about the Black Dodgers?" And he was like, "Oh no!" So he called Branch Rickey back and said, "Yeah, I want to play. I want to play." He didn't know he was talking about the majors.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I watched the whole documentary on him. It was incredible life story. He was a very happy-go-lucky guy. Of course, got in a tragic car accident, drinking and driving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't know he was drinking.
He liked to live large. He spent all his money before he even got it. Like he went out one of his early paychecks, or when he got a bump up or something, and went out and bought a boat. And he'd always go out on the boat and take his friends. He was a very very jovial guy, and liked to be around the friends and have a good time. Like to have nice things,
Yeah. Definitely all-time great catcher.
He is fantastic. How many MVPs did he win? 3? I think 3.
Like that. 3. Yeah. Here's a Dizzy D.
Oh, nice.
This one's got a little writing on it, but
They're all getting framed up.
they're all gonna get framed.
You're gonna run out of wall space there, my man.
Oh, my brother's moving out to
His brother's-
college.
Tomorrow we're hijacking his room.
Yeah, he's actually moving out tomorrow.
Oh my God. That's
Um,
funny because when my daughter went to college, I would take over her room and store all my extra boxes because I had them everywhere. Thinking like, well, I'll organize and then I'll bring them back in. And she'd come home, there'd be boxes everywhere, and I'd have to clean them up real fast. So when she would go away, my wife would be like, "Don't you go putting all your cards in her room again."
Kevin Gary said, I had a complete set of RC cans unopened with no Coke in them. Dealer's wife worked at the factory and made a set for him with no Coca-Cola in them.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That is pretty cool. And your friend Junior Baseball Fanatics in here.
Hey, Leah. Here we go.
Oh yeah. That's nice.
Yeah, I have unrolled cans. Some unrolled cans. They're flat, which are great because they display so nicely.
Oh yeah, I bet.
They display like a card.
Yeah, and then you can see the whole thing.
In fact, I have the Al Oliver unrolled.
Was he
Man, he belongs in the Hall of Fame, man.
Was he like the first? What was he the first?
All black field team.
No, he was like the first. Where was he from?
Well, maybe it'll say on here. I forget where he was from. Down south somewhere. Doesn't say on here.
I don't remember. It was like
I think he was from. I think it was down south. I'm not sure, but I want to say Oklahoma or somewhere along those lines.
Horribly underrated player.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody that talks to him, I mean, just says what an incredible hitter he was. He, after he left the Pirates, he ended up, with the Rangers and the Expos, and didn't get a lot of TV time. Not a lot of people saw him. But the players, I asked Lou Piniella, and he's like, yeah, he was a great hitter. I heard, what was his name? Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Enos Cabell. I heard he has a segment on YouTube. You can watch it, and he was talking about Dave Parker and him, and he's like, "Why isn't Al Oliver in the Hall of Fame? He's one of the best hitters I've ever seen." All he did was hit. He was a tough out.
What position?
And he was a first baseman, and when he came up, he had to make the transition to center field. That is not easy to go from first base to center field, and he did a good job. In fact, his nickname was Scoops because he was a first baseman. And then when he left the Pirates, he went back to playing first base. But at the latter part of his career, and I'll tell you what, at the latter part of his career, he was impossible to get out. I mean, he was just a solid hitter. He was always on base. And that's when he started to get a little bit more respect. But like I said, he played on more obscure teams, so he didn't get the notoriety.
Yeah, I wish I kind of grew up watching that era of baseball, because I mean that then was a much different game than it is.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It was a lot more finesse pitching.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a lot more power pitching. And there's so much more emphasis on the home run and the long ball and low batting averages. And before they changed the size of the bases, they had basically did away with most stealing and most hit and runs and stuff like that. The small ball, what they call the small ball. That's why I was always in favor of pitchers batting, because I think my mother could manage a team with a DH. Like there's nothing to manage.
Yeah.
Right? Like you don't have to finagle when to take that pitcher out, who to replace him with, pinch hit, and bring somebody in for just, a few pitches, all that good stuff. In the old days, they'd take the pitcher, put him at first base or in the outfield for one batter and bring him right back to pitch, stuff like that. They just don't do that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Double switches.
I like the pitch clock change. I like that just because it makes the games more watchable. But I don't really like the bigger bases and the what is it called, the shift, the band on the shift.
I hate that myself because there's never been anything in the rule book that says where your 9 players have to play.
Yeah.
And if you are one of the best baseball players on the planet and you can't hit a liner to the opposite field, like Ted Williams used to do in the World Series when they would do the shift for him, then you deserve to get out. You know, because it's really stupid to play the shift against a guy that can hit. It's actually stupid because all you have to do is slap it down left field. It's in my opinion.
That's
yeah.
And
so, but anyway,
yeah,
that's where we're at. And when they started putting the guy at second base in extra innings, I was like, what is this, T-ball?
Yeah.
And no blocking the plate, right?
Yeah, and no blocking the plate.
Yeah.
Can't take out the second baseman, and
I you know what, that taking out the second baseman, I'm kind of in favor of that one. That you could get killed, but blocking the plate, I mean, I don't know.
Ray Fosse might have a different opinion on that.
He would, but I mean, he blocked the plate and he paid the price. Like the catcher doesn't have to block the plate, but to tell him he's not allowed to block the plate.
One thing they don't take in consideration on that play is that Fosse was blocking the plate. He could have stepped aside. So
yeah, exactly. But that's what you did. I played catcher for a while, and man, I didn't want to stand in there with a kid that was twice my size running at me full steam, but you had to do it. And if you broke your collarbone or you went flying or whatever, you had to hang on to that ball and you had to take that hit. It's just the way it was. But some of these calls are questionable, the block and the plate. They've gotten better. But I think when they first changed that rule, there were some calls where they would say you were blocking the plate that I disagreed with, even after review. It's like you got to let them play a little bit.
Yeah. There was one that ended the Twins game, or maybe I think it was last year, and I don't know if you know the Twins manager Rocco Baldelli.
I remember collecting his rookie cards when he came up.
Oh yeah, was he going to be a hot prospect or what?
Oh yeah, he was the next coming, and then he got sick.
Yeah, and then he had
I bought his rookie cards.
Me and my dad both hate Rocco Baldelli. But there was the one thing I did like about him was there was a call of the catcher blocked the plate or whatever, and they ended up giving the other team the run, which ended the game. And he came out there and he was just screaming at the umpires. And then after he got done screaming at the umpires, then he pointed at the cameras and started screaming at the people. And he was.
I forget what he had. Did he have a blood disorder? What ended his career? He got some disease. I want to say some blood disorder or something.
I think it was something with blood.
I forget. But yeah, he was a hot prospect when he came up. Him and Juan Rivera. Or was it Rivera?
Wow. Is that who it was?
Riviera? What was his name? He played a few years. You remember?
My dad doesn't remember. I don't remember. I'm too young for that.
For the Yankees.
For the Yankees.
Maybe I have his name wrong. Yeah, wasn't it Juan Rivera? I think they were rookies the same year, or 1 or 2 years apart, right around the same time.
That was 2003, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Two or three. Yeah. 2 or 3.
I don't know.
Rocco Baldelli. Yeah. Man, that brings back memories. There were a lot of those players over the years. These rookies that you wanted to chase. Joe Charbonneau.
Yep.
Kent Herbeck, who ended up having a good career but never lived up to the hype. I mean, they had him. It's hard to live up to some of that hype,
The best thing about Joe Charbonneau was, he liked to fight. He was kind of a I guess we call him a bum back in the day, but kind of rode the trains. He'd get into a lot of fights, and he could open beer bottles with his eye socket, and he had no cartilage in his nose because it had been broke so many times he'd drink a beer through it.
Ruben Rivera. It was
What's
Ruben
that? Rivera. I'm sorry, say that again.
Ruben Rivera.
It wasn't Ruben.
That's who he said.
Ruben Rivera? Oh, maybe it was. I didn't think it was Ruben.
George said Rocco got the game-winning hit for the Rays in the 7th game of the 2008 ALCS, putting the Rays in their first World Series.
Oh, nice.
Too bad he won't bring the Twins ever to their World Series, especially with pitcher in the 5th inning.
There was a World Series All-Star. I got all kind of signed stuff. Luis Gonzalez.
Oh yeah,
he beat the Yankees. My wife used to work at GNC, and she would sign all the talent. And so I'm at my friend's house, and we're over there, and he's on TV on ESPN getting interviewed and everything. And and we're like, we got to watch this interview. My wife's like, I have to watch this interview. And she was like the media relations, and so right afterwards the phone rings, and she's like, you did so good and this and that. And my friend's like, is he talking to that guy that was just on TV? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, that's so weird. But anyway, she got me I got signed bat, signed ball, signed jersey, signed poster, signed cards, you name it. I have all kind of Luis Gonzalez stuff.
That was the 2002 World Series, right?
I believe it was 2.
Was that the Diamondbacks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that was 2002.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, when she was at GNC, so Adam Sandler, she used to talk to Adam Sandler all the time because he was making this movie, and it was a cartoon movie, and he wanted this GNC guy to be in it. And so so my wife, agreed to it and everything, was working with him to allow him to do this. Well, in the interim, after he started making the movie, the CEO changed, and the new CEO didn't want to allow it. And my wife was in the middle, and she had Adam Sandler calling her all the time, like, I'll fly out there right now and meet with him, and we got to make this happen. And she would have to be like the middleman, and she wanted it to happen, but she had to fight with the CEO. So finally, she got him to agree. And that's why you see the GNC guy in that movie.
Huh. That's really cool that you're working.
Yeah, he's always hitting on the Victoria's Secret chick. Yeah, it's kind of funny because it takes place in a mall, and he made cartoon characters out of your stereotypical mall stores.
Oh, okay.
I forget the name of that movie. Somebody on here knows it.
Yeah.
I think it was a holiday movie.
Jeff McMahon said 2001, so it must have been the 2001 World Series.
13.
Oh, okay.
11 Crazy Nights.
11 Crazy Nights, was that it?
That's it. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to have to run. My wife made me some sauce. I'm going to have some pasta for dinner.
Sounds good.
And I promised her I wouldn't be too long because sometimes I get on here and I'm 3 hours long. So I made her a promise.
All right. That's okay. I hope you.
Hey, it was great jumping on. We'll do it again.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you inviting me.
I got a new phone, so that's why I'm doing this live stream because my old one was broken.
Well, your camera is much more clear than the last time I was on with you.
Yeah,
for sure.
All right. Well.
All right, Jack. Thanks.
Thanks for joining me.
All right. Anytime.
Yep. All right, guys. I'll have to see you guys later. Thanks for everybody who joined the live stream. I'll try to do more of these. I think the last one I did was like 3 or 4 months ago, but it's really nice doing live streams because you can connect more with people who watch. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. All the guys who stayed all the way through, that's really awesome. It's been like an hour and 30 minutes. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see you later.